Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am introducing myself as Dr. Bhanu P.S. Sagar, Professor and Director at IC School of Pharmacy, IEC Group of Institutions, Greater Noida. I had submitted a research paper entitled Safety and Toxicity Evaluation of Xanthium Stomarium Linen for presentation in the International Conference on Toxicology and Pharmacology. When I submitted this paper, I dreamed of that I will make the presentation live in the conference. But because of some unavoidable circumstances, I am unable to come. And now with the due permission of Professor Amara Wilson, the conference director, I am making this presentation through video. It is my proud privilege to make this presentation in front of intellectuals and scientific fraternity of the world. So I am starting my presentation with the first slide. The topic is Safety and Toxicity Evaluation of Xanthium Stomarium Linen. It is well known that plants are ubiquitous, they exist everywhere, and plants are containing secondary plant metabolites which always induce physiological changes or pharmacological changes in the body. Most of the plants produce secondary plant metabolites which are useful, and the same is now synthesized by the scientists in the laboratories. These are the different classification of medicinal plants which have been classified on the basis of their pharmacological properties. See, the world population is somewhere around 7.5 billion, and if it is keep on increasing like this, then by 2025 the world population would be somewhere around 11.5 billion. And it is a bitter fact that maximum population of the world is not nicely catered by the allopathic medicines. They are still relying on herbal products or herbal medicines. It is also a bitter fact that the allopathic treatment is costly. There are so many side effects which are associated with allopathic medicines. Resistance have been developed in various diseases. So people are still believing that herbals are the best option for the treatment of various diseases. We are having plants like aromatic plants or the medicinal plants which are used for various purposes, for medicinal uses. It is having a big market. India is competing with the world in providing herbal medicines. Why chosen this topic, national and international status and justification of the work? See, as I told you, most of the plants are producing secondary plant metabolites. But it is also a fact that most of the secondary plant metabolites are not safe. There are toxic principles, or they may become toxic at some higher doses. It is a well-known fact that ephedrine was used earlier. It was used for the stimulation of the heart, but now it is a banned drug because just like higher concentration of ephedrine may cause the heart failure. It is also a fact that strychnine or brucine, which were used earlier, they are as tranquilizers now used. Earlier they are used for arrow hunting, for animal carvings. Now they are banned. So there are compounds which were earlier in use, but their use is now banned because of their toxic effects. The same when I had gone through the literature, I have found there are compounds which produce toxicity, and those should be assessed whether there is a formulation or as individual compounds. In India, there are pharmaceutical formulations which are not even tested as per the WHO guidelines, and we need to follow WHO guidelines for making the formulations. They are not even tested for heavy metals, pesticides, and aflatoxins, etc. Now, what is the significance of quality for safety and efficacy of the drug? The safety and efficacy of the drug is depending upon the desired and undesired constituents which are present in the drug, and it must be ensured before a formulation should be released in the market. Herbs as panacea of poison. As I told earlier, it is fact that all medicines are poisons. The difference lies in the dose. And in plants, there are drugs which are so toxic that they may cause immediate death if induced in patients or human beings taken by. See, the drugs herbal drugs also produce adverse effects. They produce effects when they are given in combination with allopathic medicines. So these are the adverse effects of various drugs. Argemone mexicana, the drug which is so commonly used, or it is so commonly exists in the mustard fields, that argemone is very toxic and it may cause even death. The sticky and brucin, as I discussed earlier. These are the drugs which are, when given in combination with allopathic medicines, produce severe effects. These are the drugs again. This is the list of drugs which are producing drug interactions with allopathic medicines used for different purposes. So, when I gone through the literature, I found there is a compound acryloside which is present in number of drugs, which is present in various plant medicines, but this drug is either taken by the grazing animals or by humans, by mistake, by chance, and it is so toxic that it induces hypoglycemia, convulsions, renal toxicity, hepatotoxicity, cardiac failure, and even death. When I go to the literature, I found that this compound acryloside, which is a dihydrogenate glycoside, which is present in Xanthium scumatum plant, which is so occasionally or so commonly available in the fields as weed. So I decided to work on this acryloside compound, and we have collected the plant. The plant was authenticated. We developed the protocol. Protocols were developed for the extraction, isolation, purification of compound. Then hepatotoxic assessment of acryloside in albinovista rats. Then it was followed by safety and toxicity evaluation of methanolic extracts of Xanthium scumatum, and it was finally we carried out the cardiotoxic assessment of acryloside in confused frog herd. We started our work with the phytochemical studies. It was followed by chromatographic analysis, just like IPTLC, instant peptide layer chromatography, HPLC for purification of the compound. For characterization of the compound, we have used spectral techniques like IR, UV, mass, NMR. On completion, when we got the compound finally isolated or purified form, we proceeded for the hepatotoxic assessment, for estimation of liver function test, or histopathological analysis of the liver. And then we carried out the cardiotoxic estimations on perfused frog herd. This is here I am showing you the pics of the plant, which is so commonly available in the field, and it is so poisonous that by mistake or by chance people are taking it, and it may lead to even death. These are the plants which are widely available throughout the world, and they are having this many concentration of acryloside which is present in that. And it is I'm sharing with you that even the coffee seeds, Coffea arabica and Coffea robusta, they are also containing 17 to 35 milligram or 20 to 40 milligram of this acryloside which is present, and it is a bitter fact that the 60 milligram per kg of the body weight of this drug is which was used for extraction, isolation and purification of acryloside. For getting the compound in bulk, we had used instant peptide layer chromatography, that is IPTLC. Compound was characterized by UV, IR, HPLC, mass, NMR, etc. For hepatotoxic assessment, we have used this procedure. Acryloside was given at the dose of 50 mg per kg to the animals, and then 100 mg per kg. Besides, we have used carbon tetrachloride, which is a known hepatotoxin, just to compare the toxicity. On 8th day, animals were sacrificed and LFTs were estimated. For safety and toxicity evaluation, we have given the extract of Xanthium scumatum drug at the dose of 50 and 100 milligrams to the animals. For acute toxicity study, we carried out we conducted studies on various blood parameters. Here is a list. For subacute studies, we have used the extract of the drug at higher doses. For cardiotoxic studies, we used perfused heart, and the study and the effect of acryloside was compared with adrenaline, acetylcholine, potassium chloride. Results, findings. So this is the IR spectra of the drug. This is mass spectra. NMR spectra, both, including both proton and CNMR spectra of the drug. It is the chemically characterized compound. Here are the readings of our hepatotoxicity studies. It was found that the biochemical parameters of liver were enhanced, were increased drastically, and the biochemical parameters were correlated with the hepatic lysins produced. This is the observations of the blood characteristics. Again, the same. These are the histopathology of the liver of the affected animals. It shows necrosis, even ballooning or fatty changes. In cardiotoxicity studies, we observed that the peptides cause cardiac arrest, and it was observed at the diastolic position. We have concluded that in subacute study, the blood constituents elements were significantly affected by trachloside. The methylolic extract produced toxicity. Trachloside induced severe hepatotoxicity, renal toxicity, even cardiac failure, and finally the death of the animals. The effects were produced by negative inotropic and chronotropic effect. Cardiac arrest was observed at diastolic position. On the basis of acute and subacute toxicity studies, it was established that both ATR and methylolic extract of xanthine, cumin, and renin have very low margin of safety, and it is assessed that 400 to 600 mg of trachloside is very toxic and cause renal and hepatotoxicity and even death in animals and humans. So its use should be taken care with proper handling at proper dose. Thank you. Thank you. It is my duty to thank the conference director Mara Wilson and the organizing committee for providing me this opportunity to make the presentation for video. Besides, I am also thankful to the intellectuals or the audience or scientific fraternity which are present here, and I wish a grand success to IECGI 2017. With these, I extend my heartiest wishes and best regards to all. Thank you. Thanks.